Hi! My name is Dan Antonson, born in Vancouver, British Columbia. I have a 7th Dan in Goju-ryu karate, and my teacher was Dai Sensei Meitoku Yagi. So I follow Meibukan in the Yagi family lineage of karate. In Kobudo, I have Rokodan, and I follow Ryukyu Kobudo, which is the lineage from Taira Shinken through Eisuke Akamine, and now through one of his senior students, Tamayose Hidemi. I started training actually in judo in 1968. The reason my father put me in judo was I was the smallest boy in the school. I studied judo for 4 years, and I started training in karate Kobudo in 1982 when I was about 21 years old. Well, one of the most memorable experiences for me was I met my first master, who was Sensei Richard Kim, quite famous instructor in North America. So I would say he was one of the most intelligent people I ever met. Just the way he spoke and presented himself seemed larger than life. Could speak several languages and had several degrees and influenced in many ways other than the martial arts. He always said character was the most important thing. And as a young man in the fighting arts, you think, oh, the fighting skills are the most important thing. But for him, that was secondary. It was always your character was the most important thing. And that was one of the things that I found when I came to Japan, and particularly Okinawa, was they're judging your character more than your skills first. The club I joined originally was a Goju club. Richard Kim's association had any style. He considered himself a generalist, so he would teach Goju-ryu, but initially he was a Shorin-ji-ryu practitioner, and taught Kobudo and Tai Chi and Qigong, and he described himself as a generalist. So he would take whatever he could get from wherever he could get it, and that was his thing. He said the base of the pyramid. So because Richard Kim was Shorin-ji-ryu and we were Goju-ryu, he said to my sensei at the time that you have to go to Okinawa and practice with the senior Goju practitioner in the world at the time, who was Dai Sensei Meitoku Yagi. So we came in 1993, the first time to train at the Yagi Dojo. I think at the time he was 79, and it was impressive that a man of such an age was still fit and instructing in a dojo, kind of awe-inspiring. He was stern, shall we say, but strong, and training was hard, and no fooling around, and it was very serious being in the dojo when he was there. So the first day in the dojo, he was showing me an elbow technique, and he laid it in there pretty hard, and I literally went back across the dojo and quite surprised I'd never been hit that hard before training in the martial arts. The Yagi Dojo does have a small connection with the movies of the Karate Kid series, first, second, and third. Of course, Mr. Miyagi, Miyagi Chojun, was the founder of Goju-ryu. So the name obviously came from him, but the character was modeled after mostly a couple Okinawa masters, one of which was Meitoku Yagi, one of the major influences. The writer of the Karate Kid was Robert Kamen. Robert Kamen had actually come to Okinawa and interviewed a few of the masters. And one of the masters that he happened to interview was Dai Sensei Meitoku Yagi. And he himself claimed that after he met Meitoku Yagi, he modeled a lot of the character around Meitoku Yagi. And he had actually come to the Hombu Dojo and interviewed Meitoku Yagi for this. And my teacher now, Meitatsu Yagi Meitatsu, was there and kind of being as an interpreter. So by Robert Kamen's own words, a lot of the character was modeled after Meitoku Yagi from the second movie on.
Hi, my name's Chris Wilson. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in Okinawa, Japan. Since 2012, I've photographed around 140 of Okinawa's karate sensei, And since 2018, James Pankowitz and I have been interviewing Okinawa's martial arts masters. Thanks for watching the first 5 minutes of our interview with Dan Antonson Sensei. Over the next few weeks, I need to meet up with Dan again and record some footage of him training with his Ryukyu Kobudo teacher, Tamayose Hidemi. And then after that, I will be editing the footage and hopefully releasing the full 30-minute interview around the end of October. I'd like to say a huge thank you to the first sponsors and supporters of Series 3. Thank you so much. I thought this would be a good opportunity to answer some of the questions that I've been getting on Facebook or on YouTube or by email. So I've made a list of the questions and let me answer some of those for you now. Okay, so when are you going to start releasing the full-length episodes for Series 3? For the first episode in the series with Masaru Sensei, I still need to do a bit more filming and editing. My goal is to get everything done for the first couple of episodes by the end of October 2025. Why don't you interview karate masters who live in North America? I would love to interview karate masters anywhere in the world, but limited by time and budget, which is why I focus on the karate masters who are living here in Okinawa. But if things change in the future, I have the opportunity to go abroad and interview karate masters overseas. That would be fantastic. How long have you lived in Okinawa? 25 years. Do you study karate? I studied karate for a couple of years at university, 30 years ago, but I don't study karate in Okinawa. I snorkel and take the dog for walks. Can you take my portrait when I visit Okinawa? Are you located near the Karate Kaikan? Yes, I am happy to take photographs of karateka who are visiting Okinawa. We can do it in the studio on a black background, or we can do it out on the beach or at a castle or somewhere like that. Are you located near the Karate Kaikan? No, the Karate Kaikan is down south near Naha, and I am up north in Motobu, which is near the Tsurumi Aquarium. It's around 90 minutes north from Naha. Are there any Okinawan karate masters you haven't photographed? Yes, quite a few. Some we've reached out to and they've been busy. Some we've reached out to and they've been sick. Some passed away before I was able to photograph them. And others we haven't discovered yet. So if there is somebody an Okinawa master you would like to see photographed, please let us know. It may be that it's a person who is already on our list, or it may be a person that, we don't know about. What gear are you using to film the interviews? At the moment, I'm using 2 Sony A7R4 cameras and a Sony FS5 camera. I'd like to upgrade in the future to using the Sony A1 Mark II cameras, which would allow me to film in 8K, which would be better for creating an archive of the interviews because it would be in higher resolution. Do you have a Patreon account? No, I haven't looked into having a Patreon account. At the moment, you can support the interview series with donations as a supporter or a sponsor for the series. I'll put a link in the description if you'd like to be a supporter or a sponsor. That would be fantastic. When is the best time to visit Okinawa? You could visit Okinawa any time of year. If you are into water sports and you want to go snorkeling or scuba diving as well while you're here, then midsummer is great, but you may have typhoons. If you'd like to see cherry blossom and whale watching, then the end of January, February is fantastic. And if you are a karateka, then of course coming around the end of October for Karate Day, the kata on Kokusaidori Street, and the Naha Tug of War is fantastic. So end of October is very popular with karateka as well. Thanks for your questions. If you have a question that I didn't answer today, please put it in the comments below, and maybe I will answer the questions in a future update. Thanks very much. Please enjoy the interviews. Go back through them. Remember to like videos, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I hope to see some of you in Okinawa sometime in the not too distant future. Thanks very much.